From this to this, what happened to the tire? Well, welcome to the world of drifting. This year's Formula Drift ProAm Series 2009 will see many more worn-out tires as 37 of the region's best drivers pit their skills against one another. The precision and accuracy needed to perform the stunt mean that the race tires are very crucial to the drivers. Racer TV finds out more about the most basic component of a racing car, the tires.
There's a lot of things that the typical average driver does not know about tires, because when they look at tires, it's a round donut, a black donut. But deep inside, there's a lot of science, there's a lot of chemistry, a lot of physics that's involved into making just one particular tire pattern.
So with regards to this tire here, can you tell me more about this tire?
All right, well, let's take a look at this tire and see, and connect the racing routes maybe to our everyday driving, okay? This is what we call our Eagle Rev Spec, Goodyear Eagle Rev Spec, and this was actually made in Japan. Believe it or not, this is actually an everyday high-performance street tire that you can just buy in the stores. But this is the type of tire that we are now using for drifting, as drifting is a fast-growing sport, not just in Japan, but in the U.S. and now here in Asia, rest of Asia. And if you look at this center rib over here, and it kind of looks like you have an arrowhead, right? I mean, this is actually a design that was used as early as the 60s and 70s with NASCAR rain tires. And what this center rib does is it looks really fancy, but this is actually a very key component in the tread pattern that keeps your car stable, that keeps you in control at all times. And then these grooves are actually a combination of either cooling grooves. In other words, you will find grooves wherein the tires tend to heat up more when you're using it, and the passage of air allows it to be able to cool evenly and at the same time wear evenly. Okay. At the same time, you could see that the angles are also designed so that when you do get into, let's say, a pool of water, it flushes out the water very quickly. Okay, so because when you're imagine you're driving and then you run across a puddle maybe at 100 kilometers per hour, there will be almost like zero contact with your tire to the road, and you will drift. You will do what they call an aquaplaning. So these tires enable you to channel out the water faster so that your tires still remain in contact with the road, resulting in wet grip. So for drift, it's about grip, handling, control, because you need to be able to take the force that's coming out of those high-powered rear engines. Okay, they do 350 horsepower easily, at minimum. I mean, I've seen cars that are even more than that. But the fact is, you need tires like these to be able to make you achieve those drifting maneuvers, because you will need grip to counterbalance that force.
Many people believe that in drifting, in order to drift smoothly, the tires should be smooth as well. So
that's
yeah,
right.
can you?
That's right. In fact, even before I got into the sport, I said, "Hey, they're using slick tires. They're not using slick tires. Believe me, they are using groove tires like this to be able to provide the type of grip that you need to still be able to maneuver those drifting moves, those drifts."
So can you tell me more about the tire after you drift?
Okay. This is our Eagle F1 tire. When you can see, we still have that extreme V pattern, right? Which allows more water dispersion and better grip control. But you'll see that this is the inner side of the tire. So when this was fitted, the rims are facing outward here, and this is the inner tire. So the result is we have more wear in the inner tire than the outer side of the tire, and that's because the way that the cambers are adjusted, okay, to be able to help cars to provide more control of the drift, is that the cambers are adjusted inward, so that way the inner part of the tire gets more wear. On a normal day, a drift car would probably consume 4 sets of tires. So in a weekend, it's times 2, if they're able to make it all the way to the finals. So yes, I mean, these are our street tires, and they're really good for this type of racing format or motorsports format. But of course, you can see how they get consumed very, very quickly.
Perhaps now these tires will receive the respect that they deserve. At the very least, the drivers themselves know just how important these tires are. Next, Razer TV talks to the #1 drifter in Singapore, Ivan Lim.